morning and welcome back to the channel. It's Saturday morning, I'm out on my dog walk and I'm going to talk to you about what the next video I'm going to produce is about. I've been buying bits and pieces on eBay for years, but recently I decided why not buy a film camera. And what I did was I found a Nikon 60, N60 or D60 or something like that for about £30 with a couple of lenses, and I thought, yeah, why not? Let's buy it and let's actually remind ourselves a little bit about what digital has given us that film didn't give us, and the two different ways of working. It's been probably 25 years since I've had a film camera. I used a film camera at all, so I thought it might be quite interesting to go through the motions. So I'll get on with it, and what I'll do is I will show you the camera. When I get back home, I'll take some images of it and I'll talk you through it. It's nothing special, but I'm sure it'll do what is needed, and I'll go out over the next few days with both black and white and colour film, and I'll take my digital camera, my main Sony, with me, and I'll attempt to take basically the same shots with both cameras where I can. The little Nikon's got a manual zoom lens on it. I don't even know what make it is. It's not a Nikon lens. I doubt if it's particularly wonderful, but I think it goes from approximately 28 to 150, something like that. And I'll take those images, then I'll send them off to a local company that do basically processing but turn it straight into digital format for me, and I will then compare the images and talk you through it, and let's see how that goes. I think it'd be quite an interesting little exercise actually. Anyway, good morning to you all as well, and now we're out and about. I hope you are getting away a bit more and getting out and taking photographs as well, as we should be doing. Anyway, we'll see you on the next section. Yes, as I was saying, it's a film camera. I'd forgotten that I even have to open the back on a camera. It's that long ago since I'd last used one. Anyway, I've sent off for some film. Amazon should deliver it tomorrow, hopefully, and we'll see how we go with it. It's quite a nicely made little camera, but I'd forgotten how noisy they were. The lens has got a mechanical focusing connection back to the body, so the little motor is whirring and clunking and making noise. And the focusing system is, as they were in the day, not phase detect, not contrast detect. Well, I think it might be contrast detection. It's certainly not phase detection, but I think it's reflected back off a half-silvered mirror just below the pentaprism part. But that sort of works. It's certainly nowhere near the standard that I'm used to with the cameras I've got now, and it's unfair to even compare them, obviously, because there's many years difference, and its whole technology and computational powers changed dramatically as well. So I'm quite curious to try this. I don't know if slowing down my process of taking photographs by having to use film and having to limit how many shots I take because there are only so many on a roll, and having to wait for it to come back, will improve things. I have a sneaking suspicion it won't improve anything at all, and I think the image quality will probably be, quite rightly, pretty damn dreadful. But I'm probably being a bit unfair at this point, and we'll have to wait and see how it all turns out. We're probably a week away from getting the images back. Even if I take them tomorrow, I've got to send them off down to a local lab about 10 miles away. How quickly they turn them round, probably a day or two. Whether I get them back, I assume because I've asked for digital, they'll actually put them on a site somewhere and I'll be able to just download them. I don't know. So it's just an interesting little experiment, I thought. I've not seen anyone else on YouTube do this. I dare say someone has, but none of the big boys, the Adam Gibbses of this world, Nick Pages, Thomas Heaton's, all these characters, I've not seen any of them actually produce film. I think, to be fair, one of them did do, I think it was a plate camera or a large format film camera some time ago. I think it might have been Thomas Heaton, but I wouldn't want to be quoted on that. But in general, just a comparison of sorts between a modern digital camera and what it was we used to use then. Now, I know you'd probably say we didn't use consumer level cameras and it's an unfair comparison. Perhaps I should get a Nikon D1X or something like that with a couple of decent lenses. Again, they're not going to cost much either, but and that, sorry, not a D1X, a D1 with a couple of lenses, and then compare that as a state-of-the-art film camera in the sort of late 90s, early 2000s with the Sony that I'm using at the moment. Anyway, I'm quite fascinated to see how this all turns out. I'm not sure where I'm going to go to take the pictures. I'll find somewhere. And after all, it's not about the pictures so much as about the image quality and the process of how we actually take pictures with film cameras. Anyway, let's get on with it. Okay, this is the camera that I bought. It's a Nikon F60. I don't know its age. I don't know any history about it. It's looks to have been well looked after. It has a curious facility at the side, which, if I can get it to work, causes the sensor to be exposed. Not really. Old film camera, as you'd expect. It's all in nice working order. The battery is fully charged. It will take pictures as and when with a strange clunking noise, which I've got used to not having on my cameras. This is a Nikon 35-80 4 to 5.6 lens on the front of here, which is incredibly plasticky and a little bit sort of naff, quite frankly. It probably does a half decent job, but I'm not expecting much in the way of image quality from this. I also got this in the package as well, which I believe is called a light meter. I'll probably have to, can't even pronounce that name. It looks as if it's perhaps Russian. Yeah, I don't think I'll be needing that because there is actually metering in the camera itself. So that's just a bonus. And if I spin you round, it all came neatly in a little camera case, courtesy of Nikon. And so far, I haven't got the film. I'm waiting for it. I've just ordered it from Amazon and they're doing a same-day delivery. So hopefully later today, which is Saturday, we might be able to, perhaps even tomorrow, get out and have a play with this. Now, this is quite a chunky little lens that comes with it. It's the make is Polar. Never heard of it. It's an auto zoom lens, f4 to 5.6 again. It's 28 to 200. The one that's on there is 35 to 80, so I suspect this one is probably a slightly better made lens. It's quite a beast. It's actually solid metal. It's really quite heavy, and it's got all these useful, helpful sort of exposure displays, field of depth displays. And it is typical of the 70s, 80s sort of lens designs, probably early 90s as well. It does have a manual aperture as well, so I'm going to pop that on the camera, and that will be the lens I use because I suspect the image quality from this will probably be better than this one. I'm not sure, perhaps I'll try both. But let's wait for the film to come, then we'll go out with these beasties and see what we get from it. Okay, I've been playing with this camera and I think I'm already starting to possibly regret buying it actually, because I found that no matter what I do with the aperture ring, unless it's at f22, it won't actually work at all, and then it only actually sets the aperture to f4.8, so you can hear it does actually take a picture, and you can hear the rather grindy sound of, if I hold it near the microphone, the focusing mechanism, which definitely takes me back to the day hearing that again. I've found no way of making it change the aperture. It seems to be set with this kit lens at 4.8. No matter which of the settings I put the camera on, automatic, aperture, and even rotating the aperture ring, it seems to make no difference. The other lens, which I've now subsequently tried, has got this manual interlink method mechanism. You see the little metal post on the aperture ring, which goes with the older Nikon cameras, because they used to have a little part on the body that interacted with that, so that as you moved the aperture around, that information was communicated back to the metering system. This camera has no such thing under here. If I take the lens off, you will see, apart from the drive here, which is this little peg sticking out, this little peg here is the autofocus drive mechanism. It has a series of contacts in the top up there for the metering system to get information from the lens, and this lens has got no contacts on it, so consequently the metering system knows nothing of this lens and just gives me an error message, so it won't even take a shot with that lens on. Now, I'm probably doing something basically wrong, and I'm sure you guys, probably more experienced, probably can say what it is. So it looks at the moment as if all I can do is put it in automatic mode and have this kit lens on it and have it set to automatic aperture as it is at the moment, and just see what pictures I get at f4.2 or wherever it is setting it. 4.2 at the moment, and we'll see what the images look like. Not exactly very hopeful, but we'll see what happens. Well, today's the big day. We have film. We've got this strange stuff in a roll. Kodak 200 ASA colour film and Ilford HP5 black and white film. And if my memory serves me correctly, all we have to do, and we'll start with the colour film, pop that in there, somehow. I never remember it being this difficult. Really? Ah, there we go. Fiddly, 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 fiddly. And then power on. It's automatically loading, what it should do. It's automatically loaded. It's saying it's on shot number 1. And for the sake of argument, what we'll do is take a picture of you guys. And there we go. So later today, we'll take this camera out. I'll take my main camera, go and get some shots, and then see how they compare to each other. Okay, I've brought the new camera outside, and I've got the tripod because it's not got stabilisation at all. Obviously, here is the little beastie. I've currently got the A7R4 mounted on the tripod, and I'm taking a picture of some poppies that have just come into flower in the last day or so, which look quite nice. So the first image I'm going to try and get with both cameras is of the poppies. So I'll take that shot at ISO 200, which is the same speed as the film that's in this camera. So I've got the Sony set up at ISO 200, and I'm focusing on the nearest poppy, and it's at f6.7, which I've noticed this can quite happily get to f6.7, and that seems to be the setting it's set on in program mode. So I'll take that shot, and now we'll switch across to using the other camera. And hopefully I won't drop the Sony in the process. I'll just put that down there out the way and hope the ants don't crawl all over it. Now, come on. there we go. The lens on the Sony is the 24 to 70 and I've got it set at 70, so this is the 35 to 80. So if I set that at 70, it doesn't have a 70, so I'm having to guess at it. And again, it's focused right on the nearest poppy here, so I'm using the tripod simply because there's no stabilisation at all in this camera, and to make the comparison as fair as possible, I think it's appropriate. I should actually have them both tripod mounted. And it's giving me 6.7, 1/80th of a second, and it's having trouble focusing on the flower. So I'll put it across into manual focus and just get that absolutely spot on. Oh no, it seemed to have got it right, so I'll let it do it automatically. No, it's definitely having trouble focusing. So I've just reframed the image slightly so that the focusing area in the camera's on the edge of the flower rather than centre, but it shouldn't alter where it's actually focusing at. And 125 at 5.6 that's now giving me, so we've taken that shot. I'll take two because there's a little bit of wind motion. I don't want that to interfere with the image, so let's stationary. No, wind's starting to get up again. It's always the way of it whenever I come outside and do any sort of macro stroke flowers. The wind just blows them. We're pretty well sheltered in the garden here. It's got quite high trees all the way around it, but it doesn't stop the wind just turbulating over the trees and getting down to ground level. Anyway, hopefully any second now I can get the second shot. And that should be about now. There. So, nice picture of a fresh pink poppy there. What we'll do next is I'm going to take both cameras and the tripod up to the top of the hill and get a sweeping vista over the valley, the Weald of Kent. I might even make a panorama of it as well. Again, both cameras, both set as close as possible to each other in terms of the settings. And by the end of the week, I should have two films, a black and white film and also a colour film. This has got colour in at the moment, but I'm going to switch over to black and white a bit later in the day, possibly even tomorrow, Bank Holiday Monday, and send them off to the local processors and get them converted digital, and let's see really how good an old film camera is. I'm quite interested to find out actually. It's a little bit of an experiment, but I've not seen many people do it, so I thought I'd give it a try. Let's see how it all goes. Well, as ever, thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.